Hey everybody, it's Jason Blah here, and Brittany and I filmed a full workout again for you guys. Now a lot of people are kind of asking Jason, how come you're not making progress? Why aren't you adding weight to the bar? It's like, well, because I'm down 20 pounds and I'm still in the middle of a cut. That's the thing that people need to realize. Once you've built a strength base and you start losing body fat rapidly, you're not going to be able to progress anymore. That's stuff that people get mixed up with either complete noobs or people who are blasting absurd amounts of gear, and usually it's a new amount of gear. People who blast gear actually can't do that if it's the third time they've blasted that amount of gear either. They actually have to up the dose in order to make gains while they're cutting, usually higher than they've previously used. So that being said, I'm not blasting gear. So for me, being able to maintain my strength as a 40-year-old male while cutting, being down 20 pounds, looking to lose at least another 20, the best I can hope for at this point is to just maintain the strength that I have, maintain the muscle that I have, and maybe see a very, very small improvement on some of my weaker lifts for me, like my overhead pressing. My overhead pressing is still a weak link for me, which is why I do it first in every workout, and I do some sort of overhead press every time I train, like what you guys are seeing here. And like you guys noticed before, and I'm going to do again, I do these little bit of push presses without a lot of leg drive, just a little bit. I'm not doing like the full Olympic style push press, but a little bit of push pressing and with just a little leg drive, and then I do a back off set of strict presses after I'm pretty well fatigued. Now I did notice today my forearms are actually getting kind of sore on the push press. And again, maybe a sign because of the weight loss to cutting everything else. Brittany today, she's just working 135. She went through a lot of detraining recently, and so for now this week, she's just deadlifting for a little bit of volume with a lighter weight, and probably next week we'll start increasing her weight again and working her back up now that we've rebuilt a lot of the weaknesses in her upper back from doing all these lat pull downs, because like I said, the last couple of workout videos, she detrained quite a bit. Changes in work schedule, projects, everything else forced her to miss a month of any serious working out, maybe just coming in and doing a little bit of fluff, and so she's having to rebuild a little bit, adjust all of her time she's spending on her feet doing her different projects and trying to rebuild her strength base, which is coming along nice. Like those sets are really, really easy. She's almost feels silly using that 135 right now. But, you know, we'll get back to where we were. If you guys recall, she's done 185 for 5 reps on video before. So I noticed some people coming in I had to ban who were in the comments like, why is she calling herself an intermediate lifter on her Instagram? And it's like, well, why are you stalking my girl's Instagram? You're a weirdo. But that being said, because she's hit 185 for 5 reps, she's also hit 205, I believe, for a single that wasn't even a true max before, back before she detrained a little bit. And we'll be back there before long. It won't take long because she's not in the middle of a cut like I am. She's just doing a slow recomp, which is coming along nice. I mean, she's in pretty good shape. A lot of people have noticed that. And, you know, even in spite of a little bit of detraining, she's still relatively muscular. Obviously for a natty who hasn't been training for years and years. So there I am doing is this my last push press? It might be. I don't know. I lost count while I was talking. But yeah, I might have dropped it on that one because my forearm is starting to cramp up a little bit there doing those. So that's definitely fun when I go to deadlift. But fortunately for me, I built enough grip strength that I don't worry about my grip on a deadlift. I'm not going that heavy or all out on a deadlift at the moment. I'm leaving reps in the tank. So even if my forearms are cramping a little bit, I'm not using such a heavy weight or so much volume that my grip will even be an issue on deadlift, fortunately. So not a big deal, as you guys will notice. You know, a lot of guys will ask me, well, how come you deadlift like that all the time? You don't seem to ever have grip problems or anything else, even when you guys have seen me pull smooth bars before, right? You guys remember that? I pulled smooth bars for trap bar deadlift before with 600 with no knurling on the bar. It's because I don't own a set of straps. The best way to have a tremendously strong grip is to never own a set of straps. If you have a set, burn them or throw them in the garbage right now. You get rid of those pieces of shit, and I promise you, you will develop a strong grip. If you just do lots of pulling and pulling and pulling all the time, even your high volume rows, your chin-ups, your pull-ups, your lat pull-downs, do everything without straps, and I promise you, your grip will eventually catch up. All the volume work is actually what builds grip. You know, the worst thing you see people say is, you know, I'm going to toss on my straps because I'm doing high volume rowing or whatever today. And it's like, well, that's why you don't have grip strength and why you need straps, because you haven't been doing your high volume pulling raw. That's why you don't have grip strength even now. That's why you don't have it. If you had just been doing all your high volume while you were building up your work capacity without the straps, your grip would be fine. You know, it's the whole thing. People love to create problems in their training through their own ignorance. They love to do things like, oh, I want to go purchase a device. Sure, it's only $5, it's only $10. They purchase a device that destroys their strength balance in some way. And they create problems. They spend money to create problems that would never have existed had they not spent the money on that product to begin with. It's really kind of a crazy circle in the whole fitness world. It's always buy products that create problems that don't have to exist so that we can sell you another product to fix the problem that our other product caused in the first place. That's a perfect example. So then what? Then people sell grip trainers. You can go buy some grip trainers now because you bought straps and you have a weak ass grip. See what I mean? It's the whole circle, just like the whole supplement game. It's the same thing. Throw your straps away. If you throw your straps away and you do all of your pulling and your high volume, your low volume, your lightweight, your heavyweight, everything raw, your grip will eventually reach the point to where it doesn't matter anymore, that you never have to think about your grip anymore. The straps themselves are the cause of weak grip. They're the actual cause. I am firmly convinced that if straps had never been invented, lifting straps had never been invented, no one would even think about grip training. Like there would be no need for it would have ever been created, so no one would ever have to do it. It would be a non-existent form of training. We wouldn't need it. No one would care because no one would have a weak grip. The invention of straps created the weak grip. They're responsible. Because any other grip problems you have are peripheral nervous system fatigue, and grip training won't fix that. There I am, holding it, even though my forearm was cramping, holding that deadlift at the top on the last rep. All right, Brittany doing some more lat pull downs, which again, strength imbalance has developed in her, and we're trying to rebuild all the strength in her upper back. Because again, the type of work she does tends to be very interior deltoid dominant, tends to put her arms forward, arms in front of her a lot. It can tend to cause tight pectorals because she's always got her hands up in front of her working, because she's an artist, hairstylist, special effects, makeup. You know, she's always doing that. And so we're having to do a lot of work to rebalance those things out, because she was trying to get out of the gym fast. She was only doing some pressing without much pulling, and it really exacerbated that problem. So now we're correcting that muscle imbalance so she can get back to proper balanced strength training. But you know, truth be told, just because of the line of work she does, she is probably always going to need to focus a little more on the posterior side of her shoulder joint. Probably going to always need to focus on it a little bit. And how we'll address that later, once she gets this balance back out, when we have pressing volume equal her rowing volume, face pulls. Face pulls with bands will solve that problem. That will balance out what she does at work. And just something for people to think about who have those sort of balances. And I'm over to my barbell rows, my Pendlay rows. Reason I don't go powerful on these, a lot of people were asking last time, why don't you do slow eccentrics on it? Why would I do slow eccentrics on an exercise that I am doing purely as an accessory for my speed strength? Why would I do that? Why would I impede my recovery or deal with possible soreness from an accessory exercise? I control my weight on the way down on chin-ups. I do dead hang chin-ups at least 4 or 5 days a week. All right, I do dead hang. I come all the way down to the bottom and stretch and pause at the bottom. That's all the eccentric work that I need for my upper back. Why would I do more on an explosive exercise? Pendlay rows are an explosive lift. They're not there to be an eccentric loading lift. They're there to give you concentric explosive power that carries over to your deadlift and some other exercises. Carries over to power cleans, carries over to the deadlift. Well, those aren't eccentric based exercises either. Why would I need an eccentric exercise to carry over? People need to think about these things when you're performing your exercise. Certain exercises have more benefits for eccentric loading than others. Eccentric loading always impedes recovery, and it has the possibility of causing more unnecessary soreness. Pick and choose which exercises you eccentric load carefully. In my case, that's why I have chin-ups. Just like you wouldn't do an eccentric lowering on a conventional deadlift. You can do Romanian deadlifts if you feel that you need to work the eccentric end of your posterior chain. It's a much, much better exercise for eccentric loading. In fact, conventional deadlifts, if your gym allows for it, you have the floor, are probably better to just turn loose at the top and not even do an eccentric rep at all. Same with the Pendlay rows in theory. But, you know, it's hard on equipment. But that would actually be perfect for the strength athlete who is using them correctly. They're concentric explosive exercises. Alright guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative and that you guys have enjoyed this, and I'll talk to you guys next time.